And as you've seen, I'm Zachary Weaver, and I'll be facilitating the meeting. We will upload this recording to our Democracy in a Box YouTube channel for everyone to access. This is a creative energy group, which I define as an ongoing conversation centered on a prompt. That prompt can be a goal or a question or just a topic. Some other features of this model are a low barrier to entry, a sense of purpose, and everyone takes turns to share, always prioritizing the people with the least amount of speaking time over the history of our meetings. We really have two prompts for this group. One is our organization, Democracy in a Box, and the other prompt is democracy itself. So one possibility is that this ongoing conversation will lead to positive actions and fruitful collaborations. So if you're inspired and you want to start your own project or join somebody else's project, go for it. Also, if you want to start your own creative energy group on a different prompt or even the exact same prompt, you are more than welcome. This is intended to be open source and democratic. You can always talk to me if you need any help getting your own group started. There we go. I'm going to share a very brief description of how the meeting will run, just so you have an idea of what to expect. I also want to mention up front that there will be moments of silence throughout the meeting as I'm navigating different screens. They can be a little uncomfortable for a fast-paced world, but we've designed it this way so that it's easy to replicate and so that the facilitator can be present while people are speaking. Someone told me it gave them a good opportunity to reflect and take notes between speakers. So I will start off by getting the names of all the participants who want to share logged into our meeting spreadsheet. I will then call on people who want to share from the spreadsheet in order of least amount of speaking time over the history of our meetings. If people have equal speaking time, I will call on them in alphabetical order, starting with first names. When someone is sharing, I will use a stopwatch to track the amount of time that they speak. When someone is finished sharing, I will thank them and alert the next person who wants to share that they will speak next. I will then log the participant's speaking time in the spreadsheet. I will then call on the next person who wants to share. And if everyone on the list shares and we have more time, we will do another round. When we're down to 15 minutes left in the meeting, just for fun, I want to do a first time experiment based on some ideas that we've discussed. I'm going to try to take some notes of what people talk about during the meeting. I'm going to pop those into a ranked choice voting poll where we ask, what are you most excited to talk about? I'll share the link to that poll in the chat, and after everyone ranks what they're most excited to talk about, I will share the most preferred option. And just to make it exciting, I will start another creative energy group with that prompt next month on Saturday, January 9th at 11 a.m. Central Time, or Kansas time, in case Central Time is not the right term. If no one shows up to it, I'll just discontinue that group, but I'm curious to see what will happen. So thank you for indulging me. When we're down to a few minutes left in the meeting, I will wrap up and announce the time of the next meeting for this group, which is Tuesday, January 12th, 2021 at 2 p.m. Central Time. We may not have time for everyone to share at each meeting, but this model will ensure that the people who don't share as much will be called on early at the next meeting. All right, so now I'm going to enter everyone who wants to share something into the spreadsheet. Again, the prompts are democracy, or our organization, Democracy in a Box. So if you have something to share on that, and you're on the video call, just click the raise hand button on Zoom, and I'll pop you in. Okay. So, all right, I have just Don and myself entered in the spreadsheet for the first round. So you can lower your hands unless I missed someone. and give me just a moment while I sort it. All right. Thanks so much for your patience. And Don, we are ready for you to share.
Thank you, Zachary. And thanks everyone for getting on the call today. I know we had some technical difficulties getting notifications out there. So hopefully in the future, we'll have some more participation. I know between COVID and the holidays there's a lot of challenges here to try to get everybody to meet in the middle of the day. But I think the fact that we're going to have a regular call every month, I think will really be helpful. I know we're working on a lot of different issues. The biggest the thing that I'm most excited about is that we're going to continue to expand our intergenerational discussion. It seems like 2020 has been a crash course for everyone in civics and citizenship, and the opportunity for us to move forward with our goal of having civil discussions about difficult issues, I think is very important. And so I'll just leave it there for now.
Thank you, Don. And I'll go ahead and speak next a little bit. All right, so to talk a little bit about, really to talk a little bit more about the idea of this group. I was talking with Don the other day, and really I kind of got the idea that democracy is really people talking together, and that, you know, when we can like come together and talk together, it makes everything else easy. And I feel like there's kind of a lack of that I've seen a lack of opportunities that are really easy to access, where people can just jump in and start talking. There are a lot of organizations out there, but what I find when I'm trying to get other people involved in those organizations is that people don't necessarily want to be roped into volunteering right away, or there's you know, there's some kind of resistance there. And I always think, you know, those people are interested, and they just need an easier access point where they can listen a little bit and maybe get their own ideas. Because I think that at least I find for me, I'm more engaged when I understand something enough to where I start to have my own ideas of how to approach it. And as people think of their own ideas, I think they become more nimble when it comes to thinking about other ideas that are thrown at them, because they've considered, well, how could I do this? How could we approach this? How could we fix democracy? And so that's what I would love to see more people consider, because at least in my world, a lot of people see that as way too big. They don't really think it can be done, and so we put our heads down and try to do what we can to survive, and maybe, you know, build something within the system. But I think it would be really fun if we could have more people thinking about, okay, how can we fix democracy? How can we change it to where it works for us, to where the government, we feel that the government is serving us. We feel that you know, we are heard and we are participating. And so the purpose of these groups is to create a model where people can jump in and start talking about anything. It's not really to replace any group that's out there. It's more just to say, like, well, if you're having trouble getting people involved in your organization, you know, you could have this ongoing conversation about something that might be the focus of your organization, or it might be something different. A lot of times, you know, people who are really excited about climate change maybe haven't thought as much about democracy reform or, you know, campaign finance reform, but it's likely that these two things are really tied together. And so the idea of these groups is to meet people where they're at, and to make something where it's easy to start up your own, and yeah, just to get people talking, and talking in a way where, like, you know, the other thing with meetings is an idea can be brought up and if it's hard for new people in a group to feel like they can speak up, and so we designed this group to where we always prioritize the people who have said the least. So if you're a new person or you just don't speak very much, you get to speak first, and everyone takes turns, so that it's not a thing where you know, somebody presents a new idea that they're excited about, and we immediately have somebody who's burnt out in the group go, oh, that'll never work. You know, we're wanting to build the creative energy so we can listen to other people speak, we can share our own ideas, and we can build with that. We can build off of that, and we can take inspiration from each other. So that's all I want to say for now. And thank you so much.
Zach, I really don't understand the format very well. So is there any time that we can speak or not?
Yes, absolutely. Just at this point, does anyone, we can start another round. So does anyone want to share in this round? And so Shab, you want to share?
You know, I don't know what format you're using. You probably have another format that you're writing on, but I'm not aware of that. I'm just only aware of the chat box over here. That's all right now. So I don't know if you're probably sharing or writing on somewhere else that I don't see it.
Sure.
Right, or I did not log on to another place where I can see what you're trying to share. Or so this is the only format I Yes, so somebody else is saying that they don't see any other.
Yes, I can share the documents that I'm using. But there's not, you don't necessarily need to access them during the chat, just because it's just like the instructions I'm reading and where I'm keeping track of the speaking time. But that's a good feedback and a good question, because I can use that to inform how I do future groups. So yeah, I can drop those links in.
Right, Michelle is saying she's confused, like I am confused. So
Good. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for speaking up then. So let me chat. Okay. Here's the spreadsheet. And here's. So those are the documents, and you're welcome to read them or look at them, but there's no need to look at them during the meeting unless you want to, but they're there for your curiosity. Okay, so would anyone, so we're going to do another round, and would anyone like to share anything on democracy or on democracy in a box, or based off of anything that Don or I have shared? And if you just want to raise your hand again, I will, oh yeah, I probably need to change the permissions on those. Yeah, Michelle, if you have trouble accessing that, I'll change that, but I think it's with the link you can open it. But
let's use the thumbs up for that. So if
yeah.
you can, or raise hand. Okay, raise hand.
Okay, I think that changed the document. Okay. Michelle, you can speak next, and just whenever you're ready to start.
Yes. Hi, Zach. Hi, Don, Anna, Shap. I just wanted to say hello. I think I came in a few minutes late, and so I'm probably a little lost here just in general. So now that I see this document, I'm going to be able to quickly review it. But I just wanted to make a quick comment on the comment you made in relation to the people who work on climate change, which of course is us, and in relation to the connection with democracy. Of course, we feel the exact same. I know Don and I have had a couple of different conversations about sort of the systemic changes that we all need to make. So what happens in democracy affects us and vice versa. So I just really appreciate the work that you guys are doing, and I look forward to learning more. And I also just wanted to say that I have a 1:30 meeting my time, so I do have to leave in 3 minutes. But so I feel bad that I was able to just come on and just, you know, but it was just really good to learn more. And maybe it was my fault. I think I just jumped into the meeting. And this is my very first meeting, so I wasn't sure of the protocols of what, you know, what was needed. But I did feel confused just in general. So just to kind of keep that in mind, I think it's good. Maybe there's just a few of us. So the people of us coming in new, I think that that's a really good idea. And Zach, I've heard wonderful things about you. So it's nice to meet you. Don was singing your praises. So again, that's all. I just wanted to say hello and thank you for including me in this.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'll comment more on it later, but just to say perfectly understandable that you're confused. I'm, you know, this is the beginning stages and I'm still figuring everything out. So I appreciate hearing from you and your feedback. So, and thanks for joining us. I know you'll need to go in a few minutes. Shab, you can speak next.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I look at democracy in peaceful time and democracy in unusual time, this challenging times, and you know, and the circumstances of both could change our belief in democracy. In a pandemic time right now, or in our changing world right now, I can see that the media have more effect on our democracy and what we believe in than what we believe is democracy. Let's just take a couple points on a time. The economical situation had forced, and the environmental situation has forced a lot of us to relocate all around the world. There are 1 in 193 people right now relocated so in the past year because of this or economical situation or environmental situation. So you can see that the beliefs that coming into a community somewhere in the world has changed the demographic of the people in that region of the world. And then the economical situation, especially right now, you know, a lot of people are getting help from governments. They are getting it in the United States, but you know, in other countries in the world, it's not happening. So again, the democracy changing because of the needs of the people also. The government could cool off any bad input that they can buy their way into it through the little money that they send to people and cool them off. So in our world right now, I see a lot of opportunities. This is one of the opportunities that we're here and we talk about it. It's a great opportunity. But I see a lot of challenges also. That the democracy we know, that depends upon the infrastructure or the intellectual structure that more normally will dictate what we really believe in and what's really is the fact that on the ground. So right now it is I think we're trying to redefine democracy right now more on the circumstances that we are in. You know, we cannot speak very freely right now. I mean, although it's known to be the most free country in the world, you know, but you speak on Facebook on something or on Twitter or something, you're sanctioned. That's not democracy. Democracy is free of speech. It's not anymore free of speech. You got to speak in channels that you are allowed to speak in. So it is really the democracy that we believe in, especially in this country, and the democracy that we are going into. I think it has more than one definition, at least in my eyes. Maybe I am poetic about it, but it's, you know, it's not. I attend at least 3-4 meetings a day on WhatsApp from all over the world. So and I see how there are more freedom of speech in India now than you can say it's more than here. Okay, and then the channels that you use, they're not sanctioning you, or so you are creating your own world anyway. So, like I said, you know, yesterday in a meeting for 497 people, you know, those people have the same heart, and they can speak about the same thing. But try to do that on a media, and not being looked at or colored with some color. It's a big, vast subject, and we're not going to get into it. But I think the definition of democracy is changing in front of our eyes.
Chad, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, just to share a little bit, thank you all again for your for joining this and for your patience as we work through the confusion. And yeah, I think that's really what I'm interested in right now, is creating places or containers where we can speak freely and civilly. And so this is really just a big experiment in one way or a few, cobbling a few ideas together on how we can do that. And you know, you mentioning Facebook and Twitter, Shab, reminded me of a different, made me think about social media, but in a slightly different way, where, you know, I think it's really great when we can come together and speak where we see each other and where we hear each other, because I know with social media it can be the civil part is also a challenge on social media, where it's a lot harder to understand what other people what their intentions might be, or just what their tone is. And so I always like it. I feel like there's more human understanding when we can speak face to face, even if it's across the computer. And I think that's all I want to say for now. So we have some time left. Okay, great. Does anyone else want to share on democracy or democracy in a box? Chab, I see your hand is up. Don, I see yours.
You know, but as you can see, you know, the kind of media that we are pushed, you know, like yourself, you know, you're talking about democracy in a box. Why we don't have 100 people over here, or 200 people, or 500 people? It is a great subject, but our ideas are not shared on a big media, like to be free. We are free. We can talk what we want on this media right here. But you know, God forbid if we're gonna be on some other media and we can be talking about something that kind of media doesn't agree with you. So I think the people are being heard in a way that, okay, you want to do something that you want to talk about, let's say some kind of subject that we don't agree with. Well, you're going to be talking in a little corner right there, 3, 4, 5 people. That's good. You stay over there. That's fine. You're not gonna affect what we're gonna say. So I think it's if we want to, like Gandhi says, if you want to start peace, you're going to start with the young people. And I think this is a great place to start. And I would love to be part of this, to publicize this. So like in a bigger and more way to bring the young people in and to publicize it on more media. So because it is useful, it is challenging, it is useful, just to be challenging for the young people to come out and express themselves. That's what we need to do. I think it's a great subject to tackle, and hopefully in the future we can join hands together, and we can, in a way that we can put this one in a nice little flyer, and we can send it to probably 4,000 people, and see what, you know, if 50 comes in, that they have that kind of interest. I think that will help spread what we're trying to do over here, or trying to get more ideas into this that will expand and move it and widening the discussion on what we want to do or what we're trying to do. I'll give you an example. I mean, we started Rotaract for Peace with 4 or 5 people. In less than a month and a half, we become 1,600 people. So, and that's where it could affect how we want to. And then out of the 1,600 people, there are about 20 other platforms that split out of it and start working on their own. Now we started to get together and do things together, these platforms. So I think that's where we are going to be more effective, or to spread the message, we can be more effective.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, Don, you can go next.
Okay, thank you. Shab, I really appreciate everything you're doing. I was so impressed with the Rotaractors for Peace that I know that's a big portion of what we're trying to do, is incorporate and to spread the word about some of the principles of Rotary, and how that's the 8 pillars of positive peace are really fundamental to what is lacking, I think, in this country. and that the democracy portion that I think is most lacking is that when we're discussing difficult issues, I think a lot of people don't have a good worldview about what's going on in the rest of the world. And we've been told that we're the greatest in everything. But when it comes to civics, knowledge about civics and how our civic society works, we're really lacking. And one of the opportunities I think for us here is to get these intergenerational conversations going, but also to help provide people of all ages with materials and real world civic opportunities. I think we've gotten away from the ability to have good civil conversations and have discussions about difficult issues. We've all been told, the two things you never discuss are politics or religion. And trying to separate the partisan politics from the important part of a democracy that it is of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if you don't have the people participating, then democracy is at risk. And so I just wanted to agree with what you're saying. And I thought it was really interesting what you said about the international part and what's going on in India. I think we can incorporate that into our messaging to remind people that we're not the only democracy out there, and that there's lots of opportunities for us to discuss issues, but also to incorporate what the rest of the world is doing.
I'll add something else.
Thank you, Don. And yes, we'll do another round right now. And so everyone who wants to share again, just raise your hand. Okay. Okay, and I have Anna and Chab. And so Anna, you can go next.
So when he was talking about the international and kind of putting where you fit into perspective, you kind of forget that the world doesn't revolve around only America, which I think is a really big thing. I have family who lives in Kenya, Africa, and they came to America one time, and they tell us all about how America looks from their point of view and how their life is compared to ours. And it's just America always likes to put on blast that they are number one, they're the top, they're the best, nobody can mess with us, but they forget all the little things that happens between other countries. So I think that's really important.
Thank you for sharing, Anna. All right, Chab, you can speak next.
I will expand on your point of view also, that the young people right now, or the people with no voice, not necessarily young, the people who their voice was not heard before. I think at this age right now, and I've seen it happen, even young leaders in, like a president in a club in India, are able to go above even their assistant governor or above their governor and start something, and their voice is heard. even the young people right now, and I'm not familiar if you're familiar with Rotaract, Interact, or Ryland, you know, they were able to start some media and carry on with that media and attract more people that they probably beyond their imagination. So, and the internationalism that's happening right now is empowering the young people and the women. Let me just, we have just a little problem with the family. They're empowering the young people around the world to join in and discuss things, or also because they agree with each other on things, then that group is like-minded group are expanding in a way that because they have time, they're probably sitting at home, they probably know how to use technology. You know, a lot of the mature people, they don't even know how to use the technology. I'll be in a meeting and somebody about 67, 70 years old, they will have a problem with the earphone and unmute and stuff. And then all of a sudden I see a young guy comes in, take him up, put him under his ear and work him out, and then put him back in the guy's ear, and he's happy. He just sat down up. So it's giving the young people a new role that we thought that those young people, we just have to tell them what to do all the time, but it's not anymore. And it's happening right in front of our eyes, that the world is changing and bringing us into a blender, and that blender is mixing our energy and wisdom at the same time. And the older people, or I would say mature people or loyal people, are accepting it because they didn't know ever that 11 years old is going to help them put a flyer together on, to send it out. Then nobody, 11 years old, I don't, I still feed them. So the world of technology have changed even our perspective, how we look at our young people, our new generation to come, and even it's changed the perspective, how we can work with each other. Some mature people still right now do not have the ability, or they're not accepting those young generation to be in their lives. But nevertheless, that generation is moving over because they can, different ages, different point of views are moving forward, whatever they want to do, and they're succeeding on doing it. Because now the world is open for them, and the media is open for them. And there is no, and this is the new democracy that we can see across the world, because now we are blending all these people in one spot, and then with different religion, different point of views, different countries, and it's coming up with some new idea and carrying on with that idea. And you know what? As long as it fits them and makes them happy, they're working with each other and they're happy about it. And a lot of people are listening. Some of the people are listening because they're not capable of doing that or achieve what they have achieved. And they became a voice. And that voice, because of their number, is heard. So is that the new democracy? Maybe it is. Maybe we're going to start listening to that and what's happening. So thank you, Anna, for opening that place, that window of talking windows. Thank you.
Shab, thank you for sharing.
And I am going to have to tell you, kudos. We'll talk again. I am on WhatsApp. I put my email in there. We will talk again. We have just a little, two of my family members are hit with COVID. So, and we'll have an update. So, all right. beautiful day. Thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to meet you all.
Sean,
Thanks.
good to see you.
Good to see you, Don.
Bye.
Nice meeting you, Ann. Nice meeting you, Zach. And guys, before I go, you are people of action and peace builders. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Best wishes to your family.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of time left. I was going to do, well, if you guys want to do it, we can do it for fun. I have this poll put together. If you guys don't mind, you can be my test audience on this one. Let's see. So this was a little chaotic, but I just grabbed things that people were talking about throughout the meeting and popped them into this poll. And you're welcome to take it. It's a ranked choice poll, so you can rank things that you're interested in talking about. There's a lot of options, so you're welcome to just grab a few that you're interested in and put them at the top. And if you don't want to take it, that's okay too, because I'm still working on the bugs out. But I figure we can do that and then wrap up.
Zachary, sorry, my short attention span kicked in. I did 5 and I accidentally hit submit. So
I was on mute. That's all right. Oh, and we lost Anna. Sorry. But yes, I was about to do that and then I submitted. But I see that everyone we got everyone submitted. So Anna was nice enough to vote.
okay.
And let me pull it up. So the winning one is how we look at young people. So I will start a creative energy group on how we look at young people next month. And to wrap up this one, so I'll upload this to the Democracy in a Box YouTube channel, and our next meeting will be Tuesday, January 12th, 2021 at 2 p.m. Central Time. And I will send an email invitation to our Democracy in a Box contacts. If you don't think you're in our contacts, just send me an email at zacharyweaver0@gmail.com. I should probably change that. If you want to invite anyone else, all you have to do is send them the information in the email. Please join us again and share more. Have a great day. I'll stop the recording.